Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are featuring Ram Mam. This is Adam's best friend, Crass. She also grew up in the Tiger Tribe, and she's from the computer generated animated series that's seen on Netflix. Great looking figure. I purchased this at my local Walmart maybe like a week or two ago. It's just now that I'm getting around to it. I remember when the new cartoon first started. Right when I saw Crass, I'm like, I really want a figure of her. She looked really cool. And the toy, I don't know, there's something that's really goofy looking about the toy. So let's get started. But real quick, if you're unfamiliar with the character, let's consult He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Heroes and Villains Guidebook. This is from Scholastic Books, and I believe she's on page 36. There we go. Here's Crass. So for me, this, Ram Mam's cool, but I kind of wanted a figure more so of Crass when she looks like this. I think she looks cooler. This is a great book. It's kind of crazy because this book looks really, it's deceptively really thin looking. But the minute you open it up, it's filled with all sorts of meaty information and on all the characters in the world. It's pretty neat. So if you dig the new cartoon, this is a nice little supplement to that. And here's Ram Mam. So we have Crass, and then here she is all powered up. Base mode, Crass, master form, Ram Mam. She's the master of demolition. Her power weapon's the helm of demolition. Yeah, so I don't want to read this. I don't want to accidentally spoil it, but just a quick side-by-side comparison before we take the figure out. As you can see, the animated model has a lot more detail and color than the toy, but the toy does, I think, it does a decent job of, conveying the basic likeness of the character. Alright, so we have Ram Mam. So it's Adam's best friend, Crass. They grew up together in the Tiger Tribe. Alright, I'm trying to figure out how this helmet deal works. Does this come off? Give me a second. Alright, so right now I'm just trying to figure out the functionality of this extra piece. Oh, okay, there you go. Alright, so we have Ram Mam. Very cartoony looking character. The proportions are very cartoon-like. Has like the larger eyes. Very futuristic. It's almost kind of like, I've said this before, like a lot of the design aesthetic for the new CGI cartoon, it kind of reminds me of like JRPGs in the world of video games. And when I say JRPG, that's Japanese RPG. It's very future night looking. It kind of reminds me of like games like Phantasy Star Online, Final Fantasy. Pretty cool looking boots, rockets, pistons. Crazy headwear. Decent figure. Now, with these action figures, the articulation is very limited. You're looking at maybe like a little over 5 points of articulation. You know, the head rotates, arms rotate. That's all they do. They don't go out. They don't bend at the elbow. There's wrist articulation. Let's get into focus. So there's wrist articulation, head. The torso, it's spring loaded, so she could like move forward. So she kind of like headbutts either way. She has a little bit of side to side spring loaded motion, but it doesn't rotate as far as I'd like. Legs kick up. There's no knee articulation, no ankle articulation. It's just very limited. It's for me, this figure, it serves two purposes. If you're a child, it's playable. If you're a grown collector, it's displayable. So, you know, you're looking at two different things. You can either play with it or just display it. You know, with the articulation being as limited as it is, you know, you're not going to get in super dynamic poses. This extra headpiece here, this kind of like covers over the top. It looks kind of silly. You know, this is supposed to convey like some sort of like kinetic motion effect. But it's all right. You know, it looks fine. Let me grab this again so we can run a side-by-side comparison again. Yeah, so I mean, it does a decent job of, you know, somewhat capturing the look and feel of this character. You know, like I stated earlier, this one has a little bit more detail, a little bit more color. You know, this has all the bits and pieces where they should be, but, you know, it just falls short in terms of the color application. You know, this, I don't know, I always kind of felt that Ram Man was a very polarizing character. I think you're either going to love her or you're going to hate her. But it's cool, though. I think, you know, the new cartoon brings a lot of, like, new life into, like, a, you know, a very, very old, like, franchise. And it's a great way of introducing kids to, like, Masters of the Universe. You know, this is kind of built up for a younger generation. But for me, this is the figure I kind of wanted. I kind of wanted Crass more so than Ram Man. You know, I'm kind of hoping we do get this eventually in figure form because, I mean, we are getting an Atom figure in the future. So, you know, I'm kind of hoping they touch on all these different, like, especially like with Sorceress. You know, we've gotten a figure of this, but we haven't gotten Teela yet. And I really want a Teela. Alright, so if I had to rate this figure on a scale of 1 to 10... for me, it's just a flat 7. You know, it's not a high 7. It's not a mid 7. It's just a plain 7. It looks nice. You know, it'll look great. You know, once you have her on the shelf next to like He-Man and Duncan and the Sorceress. But I don't know. There's just something about the toy in terms of its play feature. Like all the figures in the line, they all essentially do the same thing. You know, they're all spring loaded at the torso. And I don't know, this figure, there's something about it. It kind of looks like what it's supposed to look like, but at the same time, there's something, I don't know, just silly about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this extra headpiece. You know, but then again, maybe I'm just a little bit biased because I kind of did want the Crass, you know, actual figure of Crass, not Ram Mam. So, but yeah, I think I'm stoked to still have it. You know, it's a great figure. It's just, I don't know, not a whole lot to say about it. All right, with that being said, let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber viewer, thank you so much for continued likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.